This is the garrote tied around, apparently, a paintbrush handle. Here you have a kind of a noose created at one end, a handle to pull it back, and this is a close-up of that knot. That knot looks pretty significant.
I don't think I could have tied that knot. This is not the way a parent would kill their child.
Well, as much as it pains me to say this, yes. I've seen parents who have decapitated their children. I've seen cases where parents have drowned their children in bathtubs. I've seen cases where parents have strangled their children, have placed them in paper bags and smothered them, have strapped them into car seats and driven the car into a body of water. Any way that you can think of that a person can kill another person, almost all those ways are also ways that parents can kill their children.
Are there other suspects out there that should be questioned?
There are other suspects. Once you believe that there's a possibility that someone entered this home, then there's a whole world of suspects as opposed to just the people in this house.
In the end, all the key players will have to take some responsibility for what happens to this investigation. If the police, inexperienced in homicide investigations, would have gotten help at the beginning of the case, things might have turned out differently. The Ramseys, whether they were suspects or not, could have been more cooperative.
You know, we can spend the next 3 years talking about who should have done what, who did what wrong, who did what right. The point is, there's still a killer loose. Let's admit there were mistakes made. I'll admit we made mistakes. I won't go any further than that. But let's get on with it. Let's put the egos in the drawer. Let's go back and let's start over and let's find this creature before he kills again.
Some of the blame has to go to the Ramseys' lawyers. Or maybe this case is just an example of the way our justice system is headed. D.A. Hunter's contribution to all of this is still to be determined. A question has been raised that could put yet another twist on how he will be remembered in this case. Did the grand jury really vote to indict the Ramseys? And did Alex Hunter decide against it because he felt he didn't have the evidence?
No charges have been filed.
He told us he could not comment on what the grand jury did, but he did say,
I mean, I can point to cases, and you have talked about cases, where the prosecutor is pushed to move. I frankly think the prosecution in O.J. was pushed to move by the Cochran group too quickly. I think they fell for it. It was lost. It's over. And I don't think that's what this little girl wants me to do. When I try to look through her eyes, that is not what she wants me to do, and I am not going to give into the crowd, if you will. I'm just not going to do that.
and the media will have to take its share of the blame.
Is it our team against their team and you've got a better team?
Well, what I've learned is that there's no end to the vulgarity of journalism.
Have you got a team to go against the Ramseys?
I think journalists report the news that people want to see and hear. But a great disappointment is the fact that in view of all of the media attention paid and all the voyeuristic attention on the part of the public paid to it, in there is lost the real idea that a little girl was killed, and the investigation was impacted, really, to some extent by all of this undue attention paid to it.
We believe that America has lost the concept of presumption of innocence. we've been tasked with proving that we're innocent. And that shouldn't be.
The Ramseys are scheduled to meet with the Boulder police for the first time in 3 years in August 2000. Chief Beckner has made some changes in the Boulder Police Department. He's added a crime scene processing unit, and police officers now carry a check sheet on what to do when a child is reported missing. The Ramseys have not been inside their Boulder home since JonBenet's body was found. The house is on the market.
In the blink of an eye, someone came into our home, not only killed our child, but killed everything that we had built and worked hard for to prepare for the future. It took a lot of people down with it.
What have you learned from the case?
There is a dynamic that develops. You know, when you have a camera at your face and a microphone, you know, somewhere else, you produce a soup that I think causes people to act in strange and bizarre ways.
If help and assistance is offered, take it. You can always put it in the closet, or you can always send them away. You know, I think all of us who are committed to this case hope that the person or people who perpetrated this offense, you know, some people find this cruel, but I hope it does eat at them, because I want people to come forward and say, I'm responsible and you know, I need to be accountable for what I did, because the murder of a little girl should haunt people.
Four people resigned from the Boulder Police Department as a result of the Ramsey case, including the chief and the commander of detectives. After 27 years as district attorney, Alex Hunter is leaving office in January. The Ramseys have been forced into a more private lifestyle than they would have wished for their son. Such mayhem could almost be expected since the killer is still free. In the end, the strongest contribution to history made by this case could be that it stands for a new principle of law. In court, the presumption of innocence prevails, but in the court of public opinion, the presumption of guilt is stronger.